Hey guys, it's Joe Madden here of the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. I'm joined by Kyle Hunter. You can find him on Twitter at Kyle Hunter Picks and at huntersportspicks.com. Kyle, how's your day treating you?
It's going great. Nice Friday afternoon here in Ohio. Some nice weather for a change here, and be able to get out and enjoy it a little bit. And things have been going here well with my plays lately as well. So that's always nice. 20-5 in my last 25 plays. Joe, you know that I'm never going to just say that I can keep a 20-5 streak going, but I got to enjoy it while I can. And my long term track record speaks for itself.
Absolutely. You are rolling a red hot right now, Kyle. I'm rooting for you to keep going. How long have you been in the industry?
So I started doing this professionally in 2009, the end of 2009, and I've done it since. I mean, when I started in this, Joe, I was kind of the young gun. A
Yeah.
lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's the new guy," and now I'm upper 30s, and I've got kids that are getting a little bit older. Both of them are going to be in school this coming year, so I'm not really the really young guy anymore, but I'm still not the old guy.
Yeah.
I'm I've proven myself in a lot of the sports long term. For those of you that don't know me, my background is in finance. I was an investment guy, uh, worked in the investment industry as a 9 to 5 before this, started doing this kind of on the side. And I was like, you know what? I'm making as much money or more, and I like this better. So I'm going to set my own schedule and do this. So that's kind of how it got started. I am still an investment person. You might see me checking the stock market quite a bit through the day and stuff. But investments and the stock market have a little bit more to do with sports betting and similarities there more than what most people would think with trying to buy low and sell high on
Yeah.
teams as well as stocks. So that's my background, and was named the handicapper of the decade by Capper Reviews there about a year ago. So that was pretty awesome. I don't talk myself up very much. I'm always humble about things, but I just go about my business and try to work hard and let the results try to speak for themselves.
Absolutely. You should talk yourself up, though. You are just absolutely dominating in this market. It's an honor to have you on the show, Kyle. I know we're going to talk 3 games today, so you guys stick around. We're going to talk the 2 NBA games as well as one in the MLB. But Kyle, you want to jump into MLB first?
Let's do it.
Okay, so you're looking at the matchup between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Miami Marlins. This should be a good game today. This is game one of a 3-game series. What are you thinking in this one?
Yes, I'm looking at the odds screen here as we're talking, Joe, and I hate that this one's gone down a little bit more. There are 6.5s on the total, minus 115, minus 120, even some sixes. I hate six instead of six
Mhm.
and a half because I do like the under in this game. Corbin Burns against Pablo Lopez, really good pitching matchup. I think Lopez is underrated as a pitcher for
Yeah.
Miami. And one of the things I was going to say too is this kind of a general point for the audience is a lot of times people say I can't take under 7 or under 6.5 or something like that, and I can't take over 9.5 or over 10. A lot of times those extremes actually do pretty well betting the over if it's a high number, betting the under if it's low number, because the odds makers can only set a number so high or so
Yeah.
low. They're not going to hang a over 15 or an under 5, something like that. So when you find a really good pitching matchup against two teams that, I mean, the Brewers have hit the ball pretty well lately, but I'm a Reds fan, and I know that the Reds pitching is terrible. So when the Brewers score a lot on the Reds, it doesn't really mean as much as if they're facing somebody like Pablo Lopez. And then, Miami's a pretty weak offense in general. Corbin Burns has pitched really well this year, and ERA just a little bit below 2. Pablo Lopez has some drastic splits in his career. Not a great road pitcher, but at home, he's been lights out. I think this will be a low scoring game. So I would grab one of those 6.5s with the minus 115 or minus 120 and take the under in this one.
Okay, I can get on board with that. I was looking at this one with these two pitchers matched up. That's exactly what I was thinking. Even though there's such strong trends to the over when they play each other, I can't see it happening today. That's 6.5, though. I'm one of those people that does scare me. So this is one I stayed off personally. But now hearing that you like the under 6.5, I'm definitely going to tail you.
Yeah, I mean it's scary. I won't lie, but some of the times those ones that scare you can be good value plays as well. And I'm not saying this is some game of the year massive bet.
Yeah.
I'm not really that type of guy, anyways. But I think under 6.5, this has the potential to be a 3-2, 2-1 type game in this one.
Awesome. I like it. Now let's move on to the NBA. We've got two great games tonight. The Boston Celtics taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Game 6 here. Bucks can finish it tonight. Do you think they get it done, or are you looking at the total in this one?
Man, so this is a game that really fascinates me a lot, Joe. I have to be honest. Of all the NBA series so far, the Bucks and Celtics is the one that I like the most as a fan. I was looking at the schedule here right before we did the show, seeing what time this game started. My son has a baseball game tonight. I'm sitting here trying to figure out, will I see the end of this game? I think I will see the end of this game, but the Celtics really blew that last game. I mean,
Oh,
what a
did they
way
ever?
to lose. What are they up 6 with like a minute something left, and then
Yeah.
2 threes in a row. Marcus Smart with not the greatest last minute of play there in that last game. I think the Celtics are a really good team. They're the best defense in the NBA. And then you got Giannis on the other side, unquestionably the best player in the NBA at this point. I don't even know who else would be worthy of being said that they'd be the best player in the NBA at this point. Giannis is so good. And his defensive play in the playoffs. I think we've seen, Joe, that the Bucks kind of screwed around a little bit in the regular season. A lot of NBA teams do that. Their stats weren't as great as you would expect defensively.
Yeah.
And now you get into the playoffs, and here's the great Bucks defense that we expected to see. The Celtics defense is excellent. In this game, I think the Celtics have a pretty good chance of forcing a game 7 here. Plus 1.5 on the Celtics is my lean in this one. I haven't bet this one yet, to be honest. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I do see, Joe, that 63% of the bets are on the Bucks and 61% of the money is on Boston, which is interesting. Somebody likes the Celtics here with some money. I think I tend to side that way as well. And as far as the total in this one, I strongly lean to the under in this game. I think I will bet some of my money on the under here. Long term, taking these game 6 and game 7s under the total has been a really good strategy because it's win or go home late in the playoffs. Usually you see refs swallow the whistle a little bit more than you would in the regular season. And these teams, I mean, they know if they lose, they're going home for the Celtics. Obviously, the Bucks really want to close this game out and not have to go to Boston. So this is a really important game for both teams. I think you see the pace slow down in a game like this. I took the under last night in the Suns and Mavericks. That one did cash in. I don't know if I'll release this one as a premium play, but I'm going to at least bet some of my money on the under in this game. So I think my favorite play here is Celtics Bucks under 212.5. And I'm going to think about possibly taking the Celtics as well.
Yeah, I like this under as well, especially with what we saw out of the Bucks stopping the Celtics from getting those 3-pointers in the last game. I think if they come out like that, we're just going to have a complete battle. It's going to be a war on that court tonight, and that under looks just so good in this one. Then the next game of the night, the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Golden State Warriors. Warriors have the lead 3-2 in this series. Can they finish it off tonight?
Joe, that last game, Memphis and Golden State, I don't even know what happened in that game. That was one where I checked the score on my phone about, I think it was the third quarter, getting some work done for baseball for the next day and checked the score on my phone. And I thought something was wrong with my phone. I mean, like, what happened? I mean, how were they losing by 50 points?
It was unbelievable.
You would just never believe a team like Golden State. I mean, this is a really a very good team. I've heard some people say, well, they didn't have their head coach. I don't care if they didn't have their head coach in that game. It still was unexplainable that they could lose like that. And to a team without their best player in Ja Morant, I know some people have said, well, look how good Memphis has played without Ja Morant. And I've heard the argument, hey, Ja Morant, look at the stats without him. They're better without him. I don't agree with that argument at all. I just don't think that's possible. It's a small sample size. You don't know who they've played against in those games. They're not a better team without their best player. Yeah. And Memphis, I mean, they play very hard. I really like the way they play. Steven Adams getting put on the court has really helped them quite a bit. He's a guy that if Golden State has a weakness, Golden State really doesn't have that good of big men. And Memphis has been able to start getting the rebounds, get second chance points. Now, as you look at this game, though, this is a tough handicap for me. You go to a -8 for Golden State. The odds makers know that this is a good bounce back spot for Golden State. I was kind of hoping, Joe, that we'd get like a -5.5 or a -6 or something like that, and I could take Golden State. I can't lay 8 or 8.5 points in this one. That's just a lot of points against a Memphis team that I think will at least scrap and play really hard all the way to the end. I think Golden State wins this game. I'm always going to lean to the under when you get this deep into the playoffs. Like I said, this game has been moved down. The total, what was it? A couple games ago when they played in Golden State, it was 224 and a half or 225. So now we see a 218 and a half, a pretty big adjustment. I think that's probably going to keep me off this one in general. And, I think that this will be a game that I'd rather just watch than I would bet. And I think that's an important point too for people listening, is that you don't have to bet every game. When there's plenty of games on the baseball card, there's NBA. We got game sevens coming up. I know, Joe, you're a hockey person. We got some good NHL games coming up. We've got a game 7 in the NBA. So plenty of opportunities out there. I don't think Golden State and Memphis is the best one to bet.
Yeah, I love that advice for sure. Are you into any prop betting at all, Kyle?
Not too much. Football, I do some prop bets, but
Okay.
I know some people are really successful in NBA prop betting, so maybe I should look into that some more. But I think maybe if you find a prop bet on Steven Adams in this game, I think maybe an over would be a good idea, because he didn't play for so long, and now he's back in the lineup, and he's been really killing it on the boards. I think over on rebounds. Maybe even points plus rebounds over on Steven Adams would be a good look. So no, I don't really bet too many of those, but I can understand that there is value in that market from time to time.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, I really appreciate your time today giving out all of these free picks. Where can people find you again?
So I'm at huntersportspicks.com. You can go over there, sign up for my free picks newsletter. If you don't want to pay for the plays, you can also get my premium selections over there. Like I said, 20-5 in the last 25, 14-2 in the last 16 MLB. I've been pretty low volume in baseball, just trying to pick 1 or 2 plays a day that I feel like have the most value, and it's worked out well so far this year. You can follow me on Twitter at Kyle Hunter Picks, my YouTube page also Kyle Hunter Sports Picks. So, Joe, I appreciate you having me on here today.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to have you here. Before you leave, what can people expect from your packages over at your site?
So you can expect to have a lot of totals. I think people
Yep.
can tell just by the way I talk that that's what I'm most passionate about. I know my strengths, so I'm going to play more totals than I am sides. There'll be a lower amount of plays in baseball. Once we get to college football, there's going to be plenty of plays. College basketball, a lot of plays. So, Joe, I think you know me. I'm a big college person.
Yep.
So baseball, kind of middle of the road as far as how many plays, but my long-term track record in it has been really good. And then the NBA, you'll have some totals plays here coming all the way through the finals as well.
Well, go Buckeyes, Kyle.
Let's go, Bucks.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.